disagreed and said that the Quran innately and superficially
So which one do you hold
are
to?
created things. They are not attributes of God. Hey, Ray, what's up? How are you?
What's up? I'm good. How are you?
I'm okay. Just woke up actually. I was actually reading online, but I decided to sleep. And I just finished my breakfast. So what you want to talk about? And this is interesting because a couple of days ago I was also the last guest on King Sil's platform. I don't know if you saw that one. We were talking about what was it we talked about? I've forgotten now.
It's okay. But I see you're making your rounds, huh? Making your rounds.
Not really. His thing popped up on my end, so I thought I'd check. I'd buy him, talk to him or something.
For sure. For sure.
Yeah.
Hold on. Before we get started, I'm gonna read the super chat really quick, okay?
Yeah, sure.
All right. So it says the Lion family once again. The Lion family once again. Blessed in the stream says, thanks for your reply. Looking forward to how the point could be argued against, because even they would have to have a justified reason to unalive Jesus. I message you on Instagram as well. Stay safe out there, brother. Thank you, man. Yeah, that'll be interesting to see what they would say. I think that the response I gave would probably be the go-to response. But yeah, that'll be interesting to see how they would argue that. Then we got Antoine says, when are you coming to Dearborn, Logic? I'm in Detroit. I want to be there with you, bro. Yeah, guys, when I'm coming to Dearborn, I will announce it way ahead of time so you guys can call off work. Make sure, your day is free. Make sure all the birthday gifts and anniversary gifts are already given so y'all can come out and work with us. I will let you guys know way ahead of time, okay? I don't have the dates down just yet. I got to sit down with everybody, plan it. And once we do that, we'll let you guys know, okay? Kai versus Boo. All right, so talking about how Allah in the Quran doesn't seem to fit the criteria of being the Almighty God, my friend. I
heard snippets of your conversations because I was like zoning in and out for my sleep. Okay. But you were talking about the dissimilarities between, of course, established Christian doctrine in terms of incarnation theology, for example, which
my particular argument is it deals with Surah Maryam. It's other verses, but just for
excuse me, in Surah Maryam,
chapter 19.
Which part of it? I mean,
verse 63 and 64.
Verses 63 and 64.
Yeah.
And so, what about those verses?
So we have here Allah speaking, right, and He says that He receives command from someone else. That there's a Lord that He receives command from. So I'll read it so you can see what I'm talking about. So and I'll put it on the screen. So it says that is paradise which we shall give as an inheritance to those of our servants who are God-fearing, right? So that's Allah speaking, right? Obviously, and so He continues. I'll read it back to that. So that is paradise which we shall give inheritance. Yeah. So
it says in the next verse about the angels, right? The Malaika, that they do not.
Not the angels, brother. It doesn't say the angels. It's just.
This is the interpretation, of course.
Right. So the interpretation is wrong against the text. The text just says,
وَمَا نَتَنَزَّلُ إِلَّا بِأَمْرِ رَبِّكَ. That of course the conjunction ma is a negation. That natan is the verb in question. Illa, except, be with amri, the command or the instruction. Rabbik, which is of course the noun plus your Lord. Yeah.
Yep.
And of course له ما بين أيدينا وما خلفنا وما بين ذلك وما كان ربك نسيا. So what exactly are you trying to highlight there?
So you see how in chapter 9 in verse 63, Allah's speaking, and he continues to speak. He doesn't stop speaking. He continues as he says, we give paradise as an inheritance to our servants. He continues to say, we come not down except by the commandment of your Lord.
Yes, I see what you're this is like inverted speech, which is, I guess, something that does occur, not so frequently, but it does occur throughout a shift in, just like in Surah Al-Fatiha, for example, right? If you look at the pronouns, right, there is an abrupt shift from first person, second person. So if one is not careful, one might get confused. And this is something that interpreters of the Quran early on.
Who's the speaker in Surah Fatiha?
In the source is of course identified as God, but the speaker is supposed to be the one that is intending to make the prayer, namely the ibad Allah,
right. So this
is God.
So this is the problem. The problem is that you have these verses where Allah is speaking. He's the speaker, and he's clearly pointing to somebody else as being God, right? And usually when it's someone else that's supposed to be speaking, you'll see Allah quoting that person. He'll say he said, or she said, or they said, right? Or if he wants Muhammad to say something, he'll say
yes,
and then you know,
usually, but not always. So if even in terms of the right, Qul huwallahu ahad, you have Qul at the beginning there, and the standard reading that we're familiar with, that is fi'l amr. It's the imperative verb
to say
from the one that is revealing it. However, if you read the tafsir, you will notice that they make mention of the fact that certain strands of reading actually eliminate or omit the fi'l amr, so that there is no qul. Rather, it begins without qul. Yes. You know, you're familiar with the qira'at, right? The versions of the Quran. I call it versions. I don't like to use the term qira'at because it sort of dumbs down the average Muslim who's not even familiar with the subject matter, but they get the impression that the term is this magical formula that solves the conundrum of the many multifaceted aspects of the Quran. But in its famous chapter, strands of reading did in fact negate the imperative verb, so that Allahu ahad, just like that, without qul. Right? So
Allah saying it.
Although it is true what you're saying, that typically when God desires to have someone says an utterance from his kalam, from his speech, namely the revelation, he would encapsulate that with indicators like the imperative verb, but that is not absolutely all the time.
So this is my problem. This is my problem, Anwar. This is my problem.
Yes.
My problem is that there's a lot of charity and interpretation that has to go with this to I guess try to kind of fix this. Just let me land this.
So this is
with this being said, just please let me land this. With this being said, you have these passages where Allah is clearly the speaker, and Allah is pointing to someone else as his Lord, or receiving commands that he's receiving commands from, and this is supposed to be verbatim the words of Allah, not somebody else speaking. This is him. So contextually in the Quran, I don't see how these interpretations are like to try to make it fit, or like, oh well, you know, it's just linguistic style or something. That doesn't fit to me. Not the context of the Quran.
I would say that it is not merely what moves a sound interpretation, or rather interpreter, to come up with a cogent interpretation is by employing certain strategies in exegesis, which is typical in all the three Abrahamic faiths. So paramount in the many principles of exegesis is, of course, Al-Quran, right? Which is, of course, something that Muslim exegetes actually borrowed from you guys, because actually the Jews developed it, you lot refined it further, and then we imported it without giving due credit. Namely, within a given main scriptural material, right? Before going to anywhere else, we interpret it within its own context. So within the context, say again?
Do you hold the view that the Quran is verbatim the speech of Allah, like every word is His?
So this was an early disagreement, a major disagreement, in fact, between large portions of the Muslim community. And of course, they were split into 2 to 3 camps, generally into 2 camps. The Mu'tazila, which was actually the dominant view initially. They had the numbers, they had the governmental strength, backing and all of that. And of course, you have what would later become the view that I would latch on to, simply because I was born within this context, in which, of course, the Aqidah is Ash'ariyya. Right, so Ash'ariyya, Athariyya, Maturidiyya, these 3 schools of Aqidah all hold to the view that the Quran is not makhluq, but that it is the eternal speech of God. The Mu'tazila disagreed and said that the Quran innately and superficially
So which one do you hold to?
Are created things. They are not attributes of God. The disagreement was essentially on how one.
I understand that. Which view do you understand? Which view do you hold to? Do you hold that the Quran is the verbatim speech of Allah, or do you hold a different view?
I hold to this because with it, as I pointed out,
well, you said this. So you hold to what?
To the idea, to the notion that the Quran is in fact not makhluq. It is God's word, actual, ontologically the word of God.
So wait, just to be clear, you're saying you don't hold to the concept that the Quran?
I do hold to that.
You do?
I do hold to that.
Got it. So just to be clear for the audience, so you do believe that the Quran is word for word the speech of Allah.
Word for word the speech of Allah. But the letters, of course, that we see, and the masahif, copies, the manuscripts, all of that are, of course, created. It is that which is behind. It parallels, to some extent, the concept of the incarnation.
I got you.
As Christian interlocutors have.
Yeah, the word became paper, basically,
flash.
Right? It became
rather than became flashy,
rather than became paper. Yeah.
Yes.
So would you say? So you would say then that Allah is? You would say then that Allah is the speaker, and Allah is the one saying, "We come not down, except at the commandment of your Lord." Allah is saying that.
Yes,
he's not quoting anybody. He's saying
just like Allah is saying, without putting any qualifiers, as the Surah Al-Fatiha, which literally means the opening, and it opens up basically the Quran when it says "Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in." God is speaking, but nobody from the beginning even, and of course Christian. We have many Christian commentators and critics of the Quran, including, of course, the last of the Greek father's name is Saint John Damascene from Syria, whose grandfather actually started doing.
Brother, keep it simple. Keep it simple.
Yeah, so I'm trying to point out that even Arab Christian interlocutors who were actually very critical. Saint John, for example, was about the first person to write the first ever treatise.
Brother, this doesn't. You gotta look, brother, because I'm about to end my stream pretty soon.
Sure.
You have to be more straight to the point. Okay, straight to the point.
Okay, sure.
So are you saying in a nutshell, you're saying that nobody brought these issues up before?
As far as I am familiar, nobody actually made it a point as it has been made in recent times. Yeah.
Does that make it invalid if somebody does, if it's not an old argument, if it's a newer argument?
I wouldn't say that it's invalid as an argument. I would say that it is probative insofar that you are challenging the Muslims who take their materials, sacred materials, for granted, yet have such confidence, bravado, and gall to attack the scriptures of the Ahlul Kitab, and for which they do not have any sanction from either God specifically or even the vessel of revelation and its main explication, the Prophet Muhammad.
I got you.
In fact,
just really quick, I don't mean to completely cut you off, but I do got to get going, man, because I'm way past my time.
Yeah,
but hearing your perspective was interesting. Yeah, hearing your perspective was interesting.
I just wanted to point this out because I also
you got to if you're gonna point something out, it has to be straight to the point.
Yes. So I think the view that the Quran, to take the view that the Quran is in fact ontologically the word of God, is attribute that is eternal and uncreated, is probative, is in view of.
You said you got to use when you said probative. You got to use words that
probative, meaning it has the nature of being proven, demonstrably, or provable. Right, so I think that is the best recourse for both Muslims and the Ahlul Kitab, because one of the reasons why Muslims believe that the Quran must be preserved and cannot get
this is gonna be quicker, brother.
Way is because it is the attributes of God.
I got you. I got you. This got to end.
The previous revelation
this got to end, bro.
Was also the word of God. Yeah, so they cannot be mad either.
I got you.
Say again? Yeah.
We got to close it here. I appreciate you coming, man. I appreciate you coming.
No problem. I appreciate the time as well.
All right, you take care.
Thank you.
All right, Ibn Anwar. I'm gonna remember that name. He was here before. All right, let's see here. Don't ever call yourself Chocolate Madness in 4K ever again. 2, now that life is there, tell him to his face you can beat him hooping. God bless. He'll tell you. Life, can you tell him? Can you tell him that I'm the better hooper?
You the better hooper? Nah, you his ain't gonna. I suck. He ain't the better football player though.
Did y'all hear that? Y'all heard it from his mouth. Hold on, you gotta say it on camera so they don't think that I'm like holding a pew pew to you. Who the better hooper?
No, yeah, he better than me. I suck.
Close.
I'll openly admit that because I don't want to get on the court and y'all think I'm real because I'm black.
And I got dreads.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, you see me in some football though, tell you that.
Shoot.
Welcome back, guys. That was very amazing, very educating moment. Share your thoughts. Don't forget to share this video with your friends, your family. Subscribe to our channel for more amazing videos like this. If you have made it this far, it means you are someone who is genuinely searching for the truth, not just tradition, not religion, but the real truth that set people free. And that is exactly what this channel is all about. We are not here to win arguments. We are here to win souls. We are not here to follow the crowd. We are here to stand on God's words and reveal the truth to people, even when it is unpopular, even when it offends, because truth doesn't blend to feelings. Truth stands firm, whether people believe it or not, whether they like it or not. And that is what the channel stands for. So if this video challenged you in a way, or blessed you, or opened your eyes in any way, don't just go past. Share it with someone who needs to hear what you have heard. Hit that subscribe button, turn on notification, and stay connected, because we are a community. We bring videos like this to you every day where we expose the lies of Islam and defending the faith of Christ, and also we review what the Bible really says. And remember this, God doesn't need us to defend him. He calls us to represent him. The battle isn't flesh and blood, it is truth versus deception. So stay strong, stay grounded, and never be ashamed of the gospel. This is Religious Insight, where we think critically, stand boldly, and live biblically. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next episode.